Okay, here's the Roman Catholic Church. Here's the plenary. You know that word plenary? In a conference, there are plenary sessions. That means everybody's there. So this is a plenary indulgence. What's an indulgence? They believe in the treasury of merits, and that if you're a saint, all of your extra goodness that you had to get to heaven goes into a bank, treasury of merit. And when you go to confessions or when you go to any of those things, you get a little boost from that bank, from the extra righteousness of the saints, which is amazing. By the way, that's just one of 7 reasons why I'm not a Roman Catholic. And this is what I tell the people next to me on the airplane. I always say, oh, well, there's 7 reasons that I'm Catholic and not Roman Catholic. Number 1, because of the Mass. The Mass? What is the Mass? They take a piece of bread, flour and water and salt, unleavened. A priest will take it and he goes like this. Hoc est corpus meum. Now he says a lot more. He chants it and everything. Hoc est corpus meum. Hoc, this, corpus, body. Est is meum, my. This is my body. That's the Vulgate for what Jesus said. This is my body, which is broken for you. What the Catholics have been taught is, more Latin, ex opere operato, which means out of the operation comes the operation, which you know what that means? If you just take that and lift it and say those words, it turns into the body of Jesus Christ. Do you know what Mass is? You're actually getting the body of Jesus that a priest, by quoting 4 Latin words, changed from flour, water, and salt to the body of Jesus. That's what the Mass is. They call it a bloodless sacrifice. That Jesus was crucified again. Right then when he does that. Have you ever heard the English term hocus pocus? You ever heard that? Like in Disney movies where they go hocus pocus? What does that mean? They're doing a little hocus pocus. Where does that come from? For centuries in Europe, every child had to go to Catholic church, and they stood there, and they saw a guy in a robe go hocus corpus meum, and he changed something they knew into something supernatural. That's the term hocus pocus. They just didn't say all the words. That's what Romanism is. It's this whole system that was devised around Mary as you know what she's called by the Pope you just saw? The co-mediatrix. What is mediatrix? It's a female mediator. A female mediator. Remember Semiramis? Remember the Queen of Heaven and all that? They've got to have, to go with everything, you've got to have a female co-mediatrix. So Jesus needs Mary. Then you have tradition. All the tradition, which is all the candles and beads and prayers and schedule. Lent. Lent is not in the Bible. It's a tradition they got. Sacraments, purgatory. Purgatory is from Maccabees, where it says we'll offer prayers for the dead. And then just paganism. So instead of talking about the error, let's talk about the truth. What does Jesus say in Matthew 7? Remember, longest sermon, first sermon, how to get in the kingdom, how to please God, Sermon on the Mount. His second sermon, just about as long, is about the future, which we're looking at. Jesus said in Matthew 7, there's a wide road, which we would call religion. There's the narrow road, which he called salvation. If you're on the wide road, you're born, headed toward death. If you're on the narrow road, you're headed to life. If you're on the wide road, you got a lot of company. If you're on the narrow road, Jesus said, few find it. Many are going the wrong way. Remember the canoe thing I told you? You get turned around and they're all saying, you're going the wrong way. On the wide road, you trust in your human achievement. That's all religions. You know, you're knocking on doors or doing the 5 pillars of Islam or following the sacramental thing. True believers rest. Now look at the difference. Human achievement is what I do. Divine accomplishment is what Jesus once and for all accomplished. Really different. Totally different. My salvation is by my works, and I hope, I can outbalance my bad stuff. And Romanism says, but if you don't, there's a place you can go and to purgatory, and you still can make it. Isn't that a great deal? So you can live like you want and die and then go to that place and burn off the stuff and still make it to heaven. You have the best of both worlds. See what Satan, his lie, that is now the largest form of Christianity in the world? The other side is salvation is by grace. It's a gift we don't deserve and we can't pay for, and it's only received not by trying harder, but by faith, that you reach out by faith. The wide road, religion, is the heart of all religions. That's why the Pope can find commonality with everybody. There is no religious group on earth that has not found a way to the Pope at Assisi. All religions have that human merit thing, earn in your own way. But salvation, neither is there salvation in any other, for there is no other name under heaven given among men by which you must be saved, right? Acts 4:12. What is that? That's divine revelation. Salvation is only coming from extraterrestrially, from outside this world, from God, in this message we call his word, the Bible. I was born on the broad way, that old way. I have to be born a second time to be on the new way. I do nothing to go to hell. Just follow your instincts. But I have to call on the name of the Lord to get onto the narrow way. On the broad way, I have to pay in full for my sins. On the narrow way, my sins are already paid in full by Christ. And that's why I was telling someone on the break, they have a friend who's not sure if they're saved, they think they lost their salvation. I said, if I lose my mug, see my mug? Did you know if I lose it, do you know what that means? Something very clear. I had it at one time. You can't lose something you didn't have. If you find someone that has lost their salvation, you have a great beginning with them. You find out what they had. And then you find what's defective in their understanding of what they had. Usually, it's in one of two areas. Either they don't understand justification, Christ becoming sin for us, or they don't understand sanctification, the whole process of me through grace denying ungodliness. So the broad way, you do nothing, you go with the flow, you end up thrown in the lake of fire. The narrow way, you listen to God's word, you believe, you call out, you reach out to the one that's an arm's length away, you have a change of mind, and by faith you get forever forgiven and secure. Did you know people are really looking for this?